Accidents in the laboratory can happen at any time by any person. That's why it's important that you're properly equipped with the necessary personal protective equipment, or PPE, to be prepared for these unexpected incidents. Remember that your clothing is your primary protection against chemicals. Therefore, remember to protect your skin by wearing pants, closed-toed shoes, and avoiding tank tops or shirts that expose large areas of your skin. Long hair should also be tied back. Jewelry that dangles should be removed or put under clothing. Rings that can pierce gloves should be removed. With appropriate attire and proper usage of PPE, you can ensure that you will be best protected in the event of a chemical spill or exposure. In addition, you should always read the Material Safety Data Sheets, or MSDS, for any chemicals that you will be working with prior to going into the laboratory. The MSDS contains information about the chemical, such as proper PPE, physical and health hazards, first aid procedures, spill cleanup, proper disposal and storage instructions, as well as physical characteristics such as melting points, boiling points, and so on. By reading the MSDS before an accident occurs, you will be more prepared to handle an unfortunate situation. Eye protection is essential personal protective equipment. Safety glasses are general-purpose eye protection which are impact-resistant and are much stronger than regular glasses. Some safety glasses are specifically designed for people who wear eyeglasses for corrective vision. Those with eyeglasses should not wear regular safety glasses since they will not sit properly on the face and will therefore result in poor protection of your eyes. If you wear glasses, ask your instructor for the appropriate safety glasses. However, safety glasses are not designed to provide protection from large chemical splashes or dust and powders. When working in an environment with these hazards, you should wear chemical splash goggles which seal to the face, protecting you from splashes and fine particulates in the air. Face shields may also be needed to protect the face. Goggles should be adjusted such that they are loose enough that they do not put excessive strain on your face, but are still tight enough to form a seal. Safety goggles or glasses should be worn at all times in the laboratory when either you or someone in the lab is working with hazardous materials, unless told otherwise by your instructor. Gloves are another important PPE. Gloves come in different sizes and materials. Glove material should be appropriate to the chemical you will be handling in the lab, and there are lists available that show which gloves will be most resistant to the chemicals you're working with. If you're ever unsure of which glove is appropriate for you to wear, ask your lab instructor. Always be sure your gloves are free of any punctures or holes. Do not wear gloves outside of the laboratory to prevent contaminating public surfaces with hazardous chemicals. If a hazardous substance needs to be transferred to another area, use a secondary container to safely transfer it through the hallways. In the event gloves must be worn to transport a sample, keep one hand ungloved to touch doorknobs, freight elevator buttons, or any other items that others may touch with ungloved hands. Avoid using stairs when transporting chemicals. Disposable gloves are designed to be one-time use only. Once they have been removed, they should be disposed of, and a new pair obtained if needed. When removing gloves, skin contact should be avoided. Grab the exterior of one glove with your other gloved hand and pull it off, turning it inside out in the process. Using the inside surface of the removed glove, take off your second glove, turning it inside out as you do so. Dispose of the gloves appropriately. Wash your hands frequently when in the laboratory, and always wash your hands before leaving the lab. Protective clothing such as lab coats or lab aprons are also useful for minor chemical splashes and contamination from solid chemicals. They should be worn whenever chemicals are being used in the lab. Be sure the lab coat or lab apron is appropriately sized for you. Loose clothing can pose a hazard in the lab, putting you and your classmates at risk. Lab safety should be your utmost concern when working in the laboratory. Even if you are not working with chemicals, you should always wear the necessary PPE while others in the laboratory are performing experiments. Accidents can happen, and PPE are there to protect you and your classmates in the event of one. By reading the MSDS before performing the experiment, you will be better prepared to handle an accident. Be safe in the lab by wearing the appropriate PPE, such as gloves, goggles, and lab coats. Don't become another example of the dire consequences of not wearing proper PPE. If you ever have questions regarding laboratory safety, you should contact your instructor to receive further information. If you find any PPE missing or damaged in the lab, this should be reported to your lab instructor prior to beginning the experiment.